everybody, and welcome back here on the Heroes Launch channel. My name is Sam. I'm joined by Louka today. Welcome.
That's right, guys. Neither of us are transparent. If you're looking for him, apologies. You're going to have to head over to Lounge 2. There's nothing like the start to a stream that is quite as powerful as sending you somewhere else. This is truly how all the best streams are made. They're handling the lower rumble today, but we have got some games for you. Coming up later on, we're going to have Madness Rumble take on my eyes. But right now, right here, the tumble-dried rumblers are trying to take down the FBI. And they're on the wrong side, which is just, that's the start we're looking for.
A good thing we just need to press one button for this.
I've heard a single button will fix that, and I feel sorry for the entire Heroes Lounge community at this point who aren't actually in on the flame and just have to listen to us do it every single time. It's rough.
In the meantime, we can also have a quick look at the map bans before we get to the first map. One person or one player in the lobby. No, this is the wrong score. There we go, this is the right score. We do have the tumble-dried rumblers banning out Towers of Doom. In the meantime, the Furious Blood Investigation did ban out Volskaya Foundry. Then we also have Garden being banned globally for this semi-final round. And then we have the first map choice in the hands of the Furious Bloody Investigation, and they will bring us towards Infernal Shrines.
Yeah, you gotta love a little bit of variety. The Nexus Rumble prides itself on being innovative and just generally amazing. And amazing we are here. We've got a new system where your bans and your picks involve removing an It is true, right, Samu? I'm not going mad. Removing an extra map after every phase?
Yes.
That's still the thing? So there are best of threes tonight, but there's going to be a lot more bans. So we might see maps get removed very quickly. But in all the excitement, we're starting off relatively vanilla in Infernal Shrines map number 1. And the teams are here. You know, they've turned up. I'm excited to see what comes next.
Yeah, they are here and ready to go for this game number 1 in any moment. As you mentioned, we have after every map, each team bans another map. So we will go really down the line in the map pool, only leaving a few left at the end. But let's see first how game number 1 goes. It's Infernal Shrines. Nice map to start off the series. You know, you need a little bit of drafting skills, you need a little bit of wave clearing, you need a little bit of macro, a little bit of team fighting. You know, it kind of combines a little bit of everything, and therefore it's really nice to see as a first map, because it's nice to test the water, see where is your opponent strong in team fighting, or are they more a macro team to try and outplay you on the map with good rotations or stuff like this. We shall see as we go into this first draft.
Here we are. Tumble-dried Rumblers won the overall. Well, they sort of tied overall in the Rumble. They played 18, which is, I think, the joint most. It might even be the most possible matches. I don't know. But they took that rocking 33-point score. That is a truly fantastic score. What is that? That is almost 4 points per match. No, 2. Almost 2 points per match. Oh dear, maths on stream. Whereas FBI, the Furious Bloody Investigation, they only turned up for 14 matches. They had that 27 score overall, creeping into 4th place. But once you're in the door, that's it. Everyone is equal in the eyes of the Nexus Rumble. And with a little bit of a fancy sub coming in here, GM number 2 himself, he might just be able to turn the tides in their favor as Fish going in for that hammer straight away. That is S-tier standard Fish drafting.
Yeah, speed drafting already happening. Furious Blood Investigation banning out Aurel and Cho'Gall. 2 very interesting picks. Some of the Rumblers have played during the season with Cho'Gall around his point fights. Very strong. And Aurel on the objective. Has some nice whips, as well as the recent buffs make her a high priority in a lot of games, especially in my Stormblade games for my randoms.
Oh my god, is it awesome? Yeah.
Alarok and Genji ban from the Tumble-dried Rumblers, 2 very aggressive melee assassins to really punish the opponent, as you mentioned already, the Hammer insta-lock, and then Blaze and Orphea for now from the Furious Blade investigation, as Blaze is still just straight up a solid offlaner, top 3 offlaner with Hogger and Darka together, even after the nerfs, and Orphea, as you mentioned already. Very interesting pick, Disciple and Dino player. Very well, so let's see how this one goes.
Yeah, Blaze is still incredibly solid at the moment. His stun, if you can get it connected, is absolutely catastrophic. But the Lucio Quaze is going to try and make it more difficult for that to connect. He's going to give a lot of mobility, try and get his team out of the Orphea chain, out of the Blaze, and to safety. Hogger as well on Shrines is just very standard, sensible choice. He spins really well. He fights really well for the Shrines. And so I think what we're going to see so far is it looks like our red team, they're going to look to try and win these contestable fights on Shrines in the early game and get themselves a stable late game to really pressure that Hammer out.
Yeah, so far also one thing to mention about the Blaze stun, it's a charge and a very predictable one because of the short wind-up time. So a hero like Lucio can easily just boop the Q the charge to interrupt it. Hogger also has a Q. Hammer has a knockback as well, so we have 3 knockbacks so far for the Blaze charge. Gonna be interesting to see how much value the Blaze will be able to get out of those stuns. And
easily boop the charge. Famous last words.
Even though we already did see Hammer, which is a very big counter Tracer ban, just respecting Dino's Tracer here.
I think Tracer is, if played right, one of those heroes that sits in the space that maybe in the past Zeratul used to sit, where she can harass you for the entire game, and if you ever click wrong once, you can just die. And we're not all paid to train this game 8 hours a week anymore, and so I think some of them, so they don't want to play against the Tracer, you know? When you've got someone like Dino who really could play it that well, especially now that we see that Falstad come out, I think that a Dino Tracer would have quite happily had fried chicken there.
Yeah, we also do see Whiteman being picked up by the Furious Blade Investigation, a healer who is known for being able to output a lot of healing and making it really hard to kill her healing targets, but he also needs.
We're going to talk about Whitemane before your old main tank?
And yeah, on the other side we also see the URL, which kind of shows the Tumbledroid Rumblers are looking more play the map. Because not that big in terms of team fighting, but looking in those quick moments where, like, especially after level 10 with a gust into a wall, Ural jump on top of it, Hogger stun, and with those engagements with those buttons, Tumbledroid Rumblers can also instantly win the team fights.
If you I think you want to look at it in the lens of why is it not Diablo, right? I think that's a sensible starting point. And where you do lose maybe a slightly more potent engage, and you lose that really impactful CC ult, you get way more control over the shrine and way more shrine clear out of that Urel tank pick, right? And so with the Hogger Urel and then the Hammer in the back, I think it's going to be really difficult for the blue team, or at least I think the red team are hoping. It's going to be really difficult for the blue team to contest on the point in the early game. And then in the late game, they have so many safety tools. They're really just basically throwing a gauntlet down and saying, come at us then.
Yeah, we also did see a last pick Kalphas, which is sometimes a bit frowned upon in the higher leagues, but I think in Shrines he definitely has his niche where you can just put the bomb onto the minions and then watch how they run towards the opponents. But we shall see as we're going into this game number 1. Starting on the blue side with the Furious Bloody Investigation, we've got Lolanka on the Whitemane, Virgil playing Blaze, Sereni on Muradin, Disciple on the Orphea, and this up Dino playing Kalphas.
The battle begins in
And
10 seconds.
on the red team, Labris is your Urel, Sob on that Hogger, Quasar is your Lucio, Fish on the Hammer, and Minehawk is bringing us Falstad. I think we're going to see an incredibly passive early game as that red team really do not want to get caught up in any brawls that aren't on their own terms. Already you can see just the vision, the space control that blue team are entitled here in this wave. As Urel is actually thinking about their level 1 talent because the opponents haven't picked an auto attacker, so the auto click talent is kind of a question mark, I guess.
It still brings you value because you're diving towers and stuff like this, but I mean, like, you get less value against heroes.
Ooh.
Point is my talk. Point locations is a nice barrel roll into safe and recycle. Not win. Find the barriers taking a lot of them there. Getting the jump up, dash up with the Q on the Orchia.
Yeah, really interesting to see.
In though, Mind Talk taking a lot of damage, but he's got the team to support him and get him blood on the Orchia.
Very nicely done there indeed by the red team. Mindhawk making himself look a little bit juicier than he was, and then able to have that Lucio dive in. And although you don't have the standard main tank, Lucio's dash into the Q is definitely going to be enough to control an Orphea. So very, very nicely picked up there. I was going to say it's interesting to see Fish on that hammer, and we're seeing pre-7 because he can't move once he sieges. In a lot of these fights, he's just accepting that his auto attack is a little bit low range, like a little bit small. I think this is a trap that you see, like lower elo players. When am I meant to be a tank, and when am I meant to be like not rooted in position? I think he's managing that very well. Definitely something worth watching if you're sitting. Fish is maybe not the most micro heavy player, but a very big thinker, right? Often his decisions make sense in theory, and he'll tell you about that for ages.
Yeah. Oh, I was told I'm very low, so I will just pump myself up a bit and hope that helps.
Nice. Yeah, look, what can I say, Samu? Not everyone can be heard over the fantastic gameplay that we have in front of us here. I don't know where I was going with that, but I don't know if Mindhawk knows where he's going either. He's setting himself up a little flank, but the Falstad, not really a flanking hero, is going to have to go back into that top lane. It's very interesting with two offlaners that Falstad is the designated top laner right now. Sob spinning in is going to be able to get himself away there on the Hogger. Very nicely done. As the first shrine comes up, the red team have got camp pressure, but Hawk is going to be careful here. Virgil absolutely crushing that lane. The Blaze not interested at all in the dwarf. Well, opinion, I don't know, position.
Anyway, I hope I'm louder now and people are able to hear me better.
You're louder for me, Samu. I can tell you that.
I'm not. I only turned myself up in OBS.
I think you just sound louder.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. Often with these things, it's just about remembering to actually talk into a microphone. Professionals we are. As Blaze lands a stun against at least one person with a boob. Liberis is taking a little bit of damage, but just look at this Hogger spin with Hammer in the back there, 20-10, even though the fight doesn't necessarily look great. And Hogger, or Blaze rather, has sacked almost half their life. Hogger is slightly delivering the bomb, but it isn't going to end up with his team. He does need to be careful now. Sob's going to stop that spin on 500 health, but with 34 minions to 18, this last round of spawning here hopefully is going to be enough for that red team, and they do take a Mortar Punisher. Serenity diving in deep. I don't think they're going to get kills here, and the red team are happy to get as much as they can. Muradin's so low. In rolls Mindhawk. He can't find the kill, but Virgil surely... Oh, no. Whitemane pumping out so much healing here. But I hate to toot my own horn, but this is what we talked about in draft. The red team, they're not interested in picks. They're not interested in big team fight pressure. They're just interested in shrine minion pressure. They've seen the Orphea come out. They know that the blue team won't be able to match that. They've got to play more aggressively for them. So they're just sitting back and taking all the kills they can get.
Yeah, and this is exactly the thing. I hear a lot of people always say, like, when playing against oh, Hammer got stunned! And she goes down here. It's a 1-for-1. 1-to-1 in kills so far, but Labras on the Duro in a bit of trouble. And another stun from Dino secures the kill. The double kill for Furious Blood Investigation, giving them a half-level lead at the moment.
Yeah, a little bit of a pre-10 overstay there. If you've got the high five, it's completely legal. But I think the red team just a little bit too proud of how well their plan had been executed. And we've all been in that moment where we have a plan and then we execute the plan and we realize it's now time to int just so the game isn't too easy. Yeah,
exactly. And the other plan, as you mentioned, is just controlling the shrine. Heroes, like, often when you think about controlling the shrine, you think like Alexstrasza Dragon or a Stukov with a Silence, maybe even a Blaze with an Oil in those areas, or Deathwing with the slow field. But what you don't often think about is like a Hammer with Hogger together, so it's a very nice combo to see here.
Yeah, I really like the Hogger Urel in particular, right? I think that that's just helping that a lot as Urel is quasi getting him out. Not quite. Minehawk was looking to try and counterplay onto that Urel, but unfortunately it does not exist. And that is another nice kill there for the blue team. Outside of the shrines, the red team has to be so careful that they're not letting themselves get caught, particularly Pretenders. A huge burning double stun. Oh no.
And the Kalphas from the side with the follow-up. Very well done by the Furious Blood investigation. Making sure they are allowed to hit away on this bottom fort now. Our next Punisher will be on the bottom side. Level 10s just came in for Tumbleweed Rumblers. And they know this fort is gone down here.
Now, it's important to mention that, in theory, none of those kills need to happen. And so this is still theoretically even for the Tumbleweed Rumblers. But they are going to have to play their comp from a bit of a disadvantage. And that is rough because they don't have good pick tools. They kind of have to commit to their plan. And so they need to be really careful that they are ready to commit to shrine fights. And we might see them forced to either sack a shrine or fight for it down 13. So it's a little bit of an expensive loss there. That bottom fort as well. I mean, you never want to have fort pressure down, but the level lead for a team comp who is designed to remain stable is going to be slightly tough for them to swallow. And you can see the blue team able to get here first and get set up. Hogger had to come from base, isn't spinning on the shrine straight away. And when it's nice open game and Orpheus is allowed to just wail on the backline, Disciple is going to be incredibly happy. But Shrine only spawning now as Hogger arrives. Sob is going to take the brunt of a Kel'Thas engage. In fact, Hogger might be in a lot of danger here. Is going to try and horde a pot away. Just about going to survive. Crazy going, looking for his teammate. But because of the space, 13-3, you can already see the red team are just shaping up and saying, look, we didn't get the start we needed. We don't have ways of bullying our way back in. The gust is out. Let's just step back, chill out a little bit, try and get 13s. Try and get into this later game when Hammer is going to take off and be a lot stronger.
Yeah, also level 13 is right around the corner for the FBI, and this will bring them a nice chunk of advantage in this objective fight. So they decide to just split off, have the Faster on top, force the Blaze there, responding to him. Yeah.
It's all about soak and waiting here, and the blue team, they actually aren't capping it just yet. They want to hold it hostage. I don't know what they're holding it hostage for, though.
Yeah, okay, not taking it. I don't think. I mean, like, if they stall it for too long, then Red Rumblers clearly get.
Apparently, they're holding it hostage for a kill on Minehawk in the top lane. I'm not entirely sure that was a plan as much as a little gift, but you take it. A win is a win.
Yeah, and we're going to see side wall opening, so you can follow up onto the Punisher jump. Oh, the Kalphas is a bit of a rough spot, but got the support from his team. Now a lot of damage on the Hogger, has to reset. The Punisher jump on the forces this time, but no follow up here, but no nice double stun. But the high five is there. To get Hammer and Urel out of the danger zone.
Yeah, nice play here from our red team. They look composed and stable. Keep still has half health her, and you can see in those the Urel. There's going to be a fly behind by Minehawk. Has he judged this right? That's beautifully judged. They're going to try and go on Dino, on the Kel'Thas, or on Whitemane instead. She is falling lower and lower. The mana bar is gone, having to self-produce the armor to get as much healing out as she can, but it's not enough. Can they save Hawk now? No, but it is 1-for-1. And with Blaze still in the top lane, this is a 4-on-3, but not a 4-on-3 they can win. Lucio going down. Labyrinth in a lot of trouble on the Urel. Pops the ult, but it's not going to be enough. Hogger trying to make as much space as possible, and they can just about scurry their Urel out of there, but you have to say, oh, fish. Never mind. The timing, perfection on that shield.
Yeah, in the meantime, though, the Blaze nearly got the top keep. 400 HP left on the fort, sorry. So that one will be falling quite soonish, as he can just set it ablaze with a W and the Q. And the mid lane also lost to the gates and took some serious damage onto the fort.
has destroyed a fort.
And yeah, there goes the fort on top. Nice advantage for the Blue Valley's investigation.
Yeah,
for
some
the
teeth
next
being shown
shrine.
by our Temple Dried Rumblers, but it remains a 2-keep or 2-fort game. That bottom keep is very low. They can't afford really to lose a person at this point. They do have the saving grace. Well, I was going to say the siege of the blue team isn't very good, but actually with the Kel'Thas Phoenix, that is a large amount of damage that exists, right? That's going to deal a decent amount of what's left on that keep just by itself. So maybe they do, as Hawk is found in the bush. Oh, I think he got lucky that no one was really talking to the Kel'Thas properly there. Dino almost giving them a beautiful window into the game. 16 still not here yet, as the engage is on Hogger, but Yrel giving him that armor, and the Unstoppable is going to be enough for now, but not good enough to get Yrel out. Disciple running down the opposing team right now. There is going to be an E coming up from him in a second here on Hawk. A little bit short, unfortunately, for him, but they get the third fort of the game, and with Yrel down, they're going to start looking at this keep as well. Hawk almost caught out by the stun and did get high-fived, and I'm a big believer that if you pull the cleanse, you hit the CC. So nice play there from Muradin. Hammer feeling forced to use her ult just to wave clear, but even under that clear, they're still going to be able to force down this keep, Samu.
Yeah, Muradin just tanking away a little bit. Has his second win afterwards to heal up, and with the keep down, there is passive pressure now onto the core of Tumblr Rumblers. Luckily for them, they have drafted the force that Global ult can easily take care of that from time to time, so it should not be a game losing for them or too much of a pressure. But for now, let's see as Quasar getting attacked here. Mindtalk flies in, gets the gust on the
Disciple?
side.
Doesn't look like there's going to be enough damage here, as actually the gust might just have killed Quasi. It's going to be Minehawk coming in, trying to get his Lucio out of danger. He is going to survive. Sob, where did you come from? Where did your health go? He is so low, the Hogger doing a little run by, but Kel'Thas is able to pick up the Falstad kill. The chicken getting a little bit crispy, and I think that we're not going to get much more out of this as the red team here. A nice little setup here by the FBI, making sure that there's just nowhere easy for the red team to go, making that rotation tough, and a little bit of a greedy rotation from the red team there, not all coming together, getting absolutely punished.
Yeah, with that we do not have the advantage on the map of 1-0 for the FBI, as Blaze is just on the top objective, taking this slowly, while in the mid there we have Siege going. Granny looking for another stun. Gets it, but doesn't follow up this time. And yeah, just slowly pressuring away the members of the Dumbledore Rumblers and getting the wall here in this mid lane, while also having 36 monkeys already on the shrine.
Yeah, you got to feel for poor Virgil walking into this game being told, today, Virgil, you will be killing shrine minions, killing lane minions, and killing forts. And your team will be having insane team fights, killing things, getting work done. But he's taken his role on like a champ. He's stood there, he's autoed, stuff has died. It's massive. They're going to try and get 20 for this shrine. I think they can have it capped already, but they're kind of walking around getting the macro. Now, our opponents are 17, so there's definitely not a rush. And
Yeah.
with 20s, with this keep, it's going to be a tough hold. It's not impossible. There's a gust. There's a hammer. The wall is still alive, but they're going to have to get a pretty special hold here, the Tumble Dried Rumblers.
Yeah, the Punisher's coming in. There's a gust on Disciple with the knockback as well, but there's a lot of damage on Quasar. Quasar's the first one to go down and stop taking a lot of damage. It's number 2, make it 3 as Mindhawk on the 4-shot falls, make it 4 as Yrel is falling. The fish is the only lone survivor for the side of the Tumble Dried Rumblers, as the Punisher is about to finish his keep and moving towards the core.
Yeah, they went for the explosive blow up on the Orthea, but unfortunately their comp is just not designed to take those explosive kills. And a very, very nice fight there from the Disciple off there means that he ends up dealing way more damage than he takes in. Map number 1, going into the FBI.
Yeah, very well done. I also like that Samurai Rumblers tried it, because you know, there's 2 ways you can maybe not lose the game here. The first one is by going for this aggressive play, looking for the pick on something and then forcing your opponents away with it. And the second way is just hoping you just don't lose by not dying and just are able to hit away on the fort, hit away on the Punisher while it kills the keep, not die in the meantime, which is much more risky into this team. So I like the attempt. It was also quite nicely executed, but the turnaround from the Furious Blood Investigation was just too strong, with the white main making sure Orphea doesn't die and Orphea having enough damage output in there with Eternal Feast and the level 20 upgrade of it.
Yeah, very well played, I think, by them as well. Not ever allowing their opponents to fight them on the shrine. You saw in the first one, if there is parity, if the Tumbledried Rumblers can set themselves properly, they're absolutely oppressive. But the Furious Bloody Investigation, they worked it out, they cracked it, and they just made sure that they were just going to stand there and they weren't going to let it happen. You're just going to take fights early, often, and try and get as much damage out as they can. So I think very well played by them, right? A very smart macro. If they'd stepped off even a little bit, I think it would have looked a lot closer. Where was I going? You want a little anecdote, Sammy? A little fun story from the past?
Sure, go ahead.
So back in my casting of Division 1, it might even have been 1+. It was a while ago. I remember Ultralisk was there, and he was playing a lovely Shrines game, and obviously he's Ultralisk, and it was last pick, so he took Kalthas because he's the best, one of the best micro players the game's ever seen. Why wouldn't he be on a 0 mobility one skill shot mage? It's just common sense. And I was the interview afterwards. I asked him, was this just some incredibly intelligent design? Because you could put the living bomb on the opponent's Hogger, and it makes it much harder for them to move around their own Hogger on the shrine, and gives you like a lot more pressure over the shrine minions as well, because now Hogger's basically doing the job for you of dragging them into the bomb. And he looked at me and went, "Yeah, that's smart." So like I don't know. I've seen it a couple of times now, and I feel like Kalthas is a kind of nice Hogger answer on this map. I think that like he's quite good against Hogger while he's spinning, because you're always landing. Well, I'm going to be generous and say he's always landing his buttons. Maybe my Kalthas is going to miss some buttons. Maybe my Kalthas is going to miss some living bombs, frankly. But you can also, if you're good, you can put the bomb on like the little dudes that are near Hogger, because when he kills them, then Hogger gets the bomb as well, and that's like a double bomb. I've heard, again, I'm not a Kalthas player, but I've heard more bomb is more good. I don't know. You do the maths on that one. Yeah. So I don't know. I think I like the Kalthas Hogger tech, and you saw a couple of times in that game as well. When Hogger's not set on the shrine, walking into a Kalthas is like, it's really bad. Dino made it look really difficult for the Hogger to actually get the space, because he's just basically there saying, look, if you want to walk through that passage, you're going to be chunked for half your health, and then if my tank's even vaguely alert, you're probably dead. I liked it. I thought it looked like quite a good answer. That's my takeaway. We have maps. Should we talk about maps?
We can talk about maps for a quick second, as we do have a Cursado ban coming out from the Tumbledried Rumblers, a Brexis ban coming out from the Furious Bloody Investigation, and the Battlefield of Eternity is the pick for map number 2 by Tumbledried Rumblers. So we are going to see the first pick on the side of the Bluey of the Investigation.
Ooh,
and everyone is waiting for Louka in the lobby.
That's me. Hi, I'm the problem.
Alright, yeah, I mean, Battlefield of Eternity, always an interesting map to see. You always need a race hero, or someone who can at least kill the Immortal decently fast. So, it's always a thing to keep in mind for drafting. personally am a big fan of Leeming and Hans on this map. Let's see what the teams decide to go for. As for now, we gonna see them stick to an Oreo ban on the side of the investigation.
Yeah. I think that they definitely they don't want to play against that Quasi Oriole. He's a bit of an Oriole at OTP, and you can see this is Quasi.
His Oriole is kind of crazy.
Oh no. Okay.
But
No,
we do see a hammer ban this time from the Tumbleroid Rumblers after playing first picking her, and an Rock ban who is very good on the map because he can push people into immortal stuns, and immortal stuns hurt.
What I will say is, they're very pre-planned, the Tumbleroid Ramblers, right? Like they come in with a goal, and so obviously their goal isn't necessarily the hammer style this time. They tried it didn't work for them. They want to do something different, which, you know, you could talk at great length about whether you should have new plans or not. It's hard to say whether it's reactive or the plan anyway, but I'm sure that, like, I'm confident that there is thought, right? That they know what they want, and they know that they don't want it into hammer, or they just think hammer's kind of insane, but they don't want to pick it early, which is, I think, a fair opinion. I think hammer's kind of very niche, right? Like, or very, very unique right now. I think if you're planning on playing hammer and hammer gets banned, you're kind of like, your draft is done most of the time. It's difficult to go, oh, never mind, here's my backup hammer. There's a lot of drafts where if you lose a piece, you can kind of do a little subby. Speaking of heroes that are difficult to replace, Disciple's back on the Ophir, and this time it's got a light bomb. I'm really worried about the potential of Tracer Genji coming in the back half of Dino.
Yeah, also we do see Rexa, who himself is kind of weak into Tracer or Genji.
Do you ever, like, ban one, pick the other away before they can have it? Is it that bad?
I think you kind of want to at this point. It's also BOE. BOE is quite nice to flank around the Immortal and stuff. But for now, instead they decide to remove the Vala. I guess the fury of Tumbleroid Rumblers is if they go for Tracer or Genji, the immortal damage from Furious Blood Investigation is quite low, and therefore they would prefer them having one of those heroes and then make a plan around that rather than having to pick one of those themselves or having their opponents Devala.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of strong stuff, right? Maybe they believe that if you do ban both, you can just pick up a Zeratul and the draft is still disgusting, right? Like, maybe it's a case of we're going to play against one of them and that's how it is. And so let's remove a different plan so we can at least compensate for anti-dive. Right.
I love it!
Yeah? I mean...
We played Garrosh Diablo last week in the Nexus Rumble. It was on Infernal Shrines, but it was still a very fun combo because, you know, you can Garrosh throw something in and then Diablo charge it into the wall and stuff. So it has a very cool dynamic Garrosh and Diablo together, which you really do not expect. But I think you need a big damage dealer behind this now. And we do see Malfoy.
Does it lose on the spot to Malfoy? Feels like...
No.
I'm very surprised that we chose to show both of them together. What are we hiding? See, like, if you just go Diablo Hanzo, do they go Malthiel then? Or do they go, like, Tracer and then you get the second tank for Tracer and her life is hard? I don't know. Look, let's not try and take it down too much. Maybe they were worried that they needed flexibility in their carry. It's double tank. It's huge.
Yeah. Let's see.
They're only bloody like non-healer, not playing a tank. Somebody used to play tank in the era. It's like, who's your assassin? Oh, that tank flare from the old Clash. I don't even remember anymore.
Ending for Ruby.
Yeah. We'll know the tournament.
Alright, let's see as we do have this time on the blue side. It's the Tumbledride Rumblers. We've got Quasar on the white main, Mindhawk on Garrosh, Libraries on the Diablo, Fish on Hanzo, and Sop playing the Rexa.
The battle begins in 10 seconds.
And on the red team, we have got Watto up in our series. Disciple on the Orpheus, Cerny on the Murden, Virgil's your Blaze, Lonka on the Anwin, and slightly worried that he might be able to run away with the show, Dino on that Malthael.
Yeah, let's see. We do have Garrosh looking for a throw.
Yeah, you show that minion, Hawk. Oh shit, Fish is dying. Oh, Fish. Oh
dead.
no.
His Hyper got comboed into the tower.
20 health, 11! 11 health! Oh, Fish was just, he was baiting. He was baiting. His team let him down. You know? That's, I feel for him. Oh, they caught the jump! And then he got swapped back in. Do you know what would be really good for that play? Oh, ranged assassin.
He was respawning.
Oh, 0 stack W. No. Oh. Oh. Look, you gotta respect the cook. Tumbledride Rumblers. What they've got in the oven. I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, the bottom cam now has been started by the Furious Blood investigation.
Okay. I really thought Hawk was just going to throw that Anduin. He is just going to throw that Anduin. Quasi's kind of engaging for the point. Oh no, Blaze is down. Oh.
It's a bit of a disaster. Garrosh, first body blocking the Anduin, now it's the one who is being body blocked. Will go down, so does the Diablo. As
right, but like...
Blaze can't kill him in the mouthful though in the meantime.
Hear me out.
Was able to just soak the top wave.
He's got like 3k damage spilled across 2 towers, I think. I don't know. I can't see what a max health tower is. I'm gambling with that. Yeah, that's huge. Huge. We're being a little bit cheeky. It's worth mentioning that when they have a stun to throw people onto that adds about a quarter of the health, some of these close fights are going to look less close. And although obviously it hasn't worked yet, they've had basically 3 fights. One where their assassin got caught, one where their assassin wasn't alive again yet, and one where they got caught by a rotation as they started. So we have absolutely no idea how good their draft is, right? Like, none of these losses are draft dependent. You always lose the fight if your Hanzo gets caught. You always lose the fight if your Hanzo's not there. You always lose the fight if you 5v4 and a Blaze stuns your white main. Like, that one especially. If you ever win that fight, what you've done is illegal.
Oh, Murden is... Yeah,
nice stun jump. Well played. He was never in danger. Oh my god, Blaze. Blaze, what a hero. Neither side really has any race.
I mean, Hanzo is good.
Yeah.
Rexa's decent.
But can you solo race with your Hanzo when you don't have a ranged assassin?
Not really. It's a problem.
Yeah.
The ally toss on
It's going to be very team fighting.
Diablo, making sure he's just alive.
Oh, oh, oh!
Oh, the throw.
Oh, Disciple!
Pull.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but there's not more. There's not more. He got the jammy dash. And now there's a dino coming. Fish is running. Hawk is in danger. Hawk is dead. Hawk is dead?
Oh.
White main is dead with Hawk.
Yeah. That's a double kill.
But Rexar did like 700 damage to an immortal. 800? I don't know. You tell me. So maybe they start at 18k. That would be a sensible round number.
More than 2.
Yeah. Look, when the taunt comes online, there's potentially taunt A. Do feel like Anduin might make it very rough to play this.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think like you need constantly the combos of like throw into the Diablo, force the pulls permanently.
But
so
there's one out here, which is what if on top of throw you arrow the Anduin, right? Can you Garrosh just then walk in and taunt that arrow, and you get an APOC under that? Is that enough? Can you even go arrow? Do you need to go the Neem Strike for damage? No, that seems wrong. I think you need arrow.
Yeah, I think you want the arrow as a...
Oh, Anduin!
AoE
No,
engage
almost.
tool. That's
Dino gets
cool.
gripped. Mindhawk now has a Malthael right next to him. Keep her run.
Why is this trying to keep Mindhawk alive?
Oh. Dino might have overplayed. Big stun, throw coming. Dino's gonna die. It's gonna happen, team. They did it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Did it cost us top 4? That's what a hater would say.
Yeah.
That's what a hater would say. And I'm not a hater. Fucking love this. Oh crap, we're on lounge. I blooming love this. Yes, this is quite good, there, chappy. Look at that. Disciple though feels absolutely no fear.
It's
I
marvelous.
wonder if against an Orfair, you can just have your Diablo QE it without a wall and try and get the throw off the E.
Yeah,
I feel like
I think that works.
I don't know if the QE is actually guaranteed or if you can get frames where it doesn't work. Diablo's really will Quasar. Oh, never mind. He's too slippery. Not Misha though. That one.
The only time, like, you can QE them for sure. Like, the only time you do not get the QE is when the opponent has movement speed and you don't shift command it. Then they can run out of your QE combo.
You can also miss the E. Oh, big stun on the Muradin. The grip is going to be forced. They are forcing this cooldown reliably. They unfortunately just take a little bit too much damage in doing it often. And now they might be taking a bit too much fort damage as Disciple. Is he in danger?
No,
I think Hawk is in danger.
Mindhawk is in a lot of trouble now because there's no fort anymore to...
Oh, Muradin though is getting thrown in. There's no grip left for him. 200 health is going to be the first to die in the fight. Hawk throws away his white mane so that he can start Wing something. Nice step there. Means they're not going to live off here. The starts the chain. And they're kind of pulling back.
Level 10's here.
Oh, the ult's enough. The arrow. Carbon's decimate. It's not even torn. The Adipok, is it enough? I think no. I think we overplayed this one, gang. Disciple is running amok.
Yeah. In the meantime, Rexa, they can camp.
I'm really surprised it's Spin.
Repent before my wrath.
This might just be because my team's Garrosh player has teamed with me against Decimate, but I don't know. It's not like...
I mean, the question is, do you really need more CC?
I think so.
Because I think once you got the pull out from Anduin, whatever you throw into Diablo combo should die anyways, right?
I'm not actually convinced that's true. I think they need big fights. Like, I think they need to kill more than one thing. Because I think if they use all their ults for a kill, whatever's left can still clean them up, right? Both Malthael and Orphea are insane teamfight heroes against their comp. So they kind of need to kill more than just one thing. That's my gut intuition. I could be wrong. Maybe it's fine.
Yeah, for the second half time, Tumbledroid Rumblers have decided they just want to race, get it as low as possible, so they can defend it as good as possible.
Oh, arrow comes in, it's huge, the APOC! Is it enough? See, like, what if you just taunt there? Just taunt there. They all die.
Oh,
And instead it's 1-for-1. I stand by my opinion. There's a 2 health Muradin in that bunker. Okay, he was a bit more than 2 when he came out, but I think he was 2 when he came in.
yeah, and the Whiteman also goes down as 3 kills.
Yeah, well, I mean, like,
side of
they're
the
very
Muradin.
committed, right? If they ever go in and don't get all the kills, then it's going badly. There's no jump for 20 seconds on Fish, and the stun connected. If he dies, I think they might lose a keep.
Yeah, I think he's dead here.
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
just about. Hawk's alive? Maybe they can scam? No, there is no scam here.
15 seconds until last rights. The amount of damage taken by Mind. Oh, the combo onto Anduin. This should be a kill. No, Anduin stays alive. It's the Diablo and the White Man going down. That's the arrow from downtown.
Love
Finishing
that
the kill.
arrow kill. Huge. Very big from Fish.
But it's just Rex and Hanzo left for the side of the Tumbleweed Rumblers. I don't think they lose the keep here.
Dano just quickly confirming his Uber Eats order there, but it's all good. Food's on its way. They do lose the keep, Sammy. You're wrong.
Yeah, okay, now they do, yeah.
Who's the
But
top
do
keep?
they? I'm talking about bottom keep though.
Yeah, they might actually lose it as well. I think those minions do enough damage. That feels like a mistake. Look, I'm not in the Nexus Rumble semi-final, and cards on the table. I'm not even doing particularly well in the leagues I am in. But I'm pretty confident that we can put our hands up and say, whoopsie, we probably could have a keep right now. Maybe they just didn't think saving it was worth. But they didn't get anything.
I mean,
And they need 16, right? Can they get 16? I think no.
yeah, I mean, it was so low.
But they need a huge fight. They need a scam.
Blaze can just walk up once and throw WQ on the keep and it's edge, so.
Yeah, you still force them to do that though, right?
Oh, they
Oh,
found
Mura
the
might have
Murder.
briefed.
400
Oh my
HP. Dino is in, but they don't have any cooldowns. Actually, they have enough to get that kill, but they trade Misha for the kill, and now Libraris is in a very rough spot. Look, it's a combo onto the Enduin, and now next to the bunker, gets thrown away from the bunker, but Diablo goes down. Will respawn immediately with the souls, and then is able to get into the bunker, but Garrett is falling, not respawning. Rexa is going down, and now Quasar, and the one left in there, will also fall. It's 4 kills. 4 out of Furious Pride Investigation with the Diablo immediately respawning.
It just feels like they don't quite have the damage. Oh dear. Dino's just had to quickly pop to the shops to get his Uber Eats.
Alright.
I don't know. I think once you start losing with a comp like this, coming back is always going to look harder than it would otherwise.
Yeah.
I love the concept. I wonder if the Diablo build is actually what we want.
Oh.
That's right, no one's doing anything. You don't need a countdown there.
Yeah, I mean the game is
Someone get the mods in.
pretty much over. It's like
Nah, it's a huge hold. It's coming.
it's
5-man arrow, APOC. In 35 seconds. It's actually still an immortal. I think they're going to try and scam this fight. I think I agree with them. This fight is better. There are 3 pots in the top lane.
Yeah.
But that is an arrow that's connected. Diablo's gone and found the Orpheus. The throw is in. It is going to just stun his white main. Quasi might not thank him for that. And once again, Disciples on the Orpheus is the engaged target and has full health after 5 seconds of the fight. Yeah. They tried.
Yeah.
Let the record show they went down fighting.
Indeed.
Something killed the 3 pulse in top lane though, which is kind of big. Not the 3 pods in bottom lane though. They're still there.
Yeah, and also nothing killed the heroes.
Yeah, the heroes did live. I feel like this is another one of those games that looked not close because of momentum.
Yeah. I think like
Right.
just if at the beginning the Tumbleweed Rumblers not losing those first 3 team fights or first 3 fights, I think they're in a very good spot to just snowball as soon as the first objective comes up and just Garish Diablo combo people into Immortal Stuns.
And they get a couple of those fights as well where they go into that keep or into that camp where slightly better button pushes, slightly favorable trades, and they're like laughing. But yeah, no. Let's take nothing away from FBI. They've played 2 incredibly clean series there, and look at them go.
Yeah, with that we shall see the furious bloody investigation in the grand finals in 2 weeks time, as next week on Monday we will have the lower Nexus Rumble Grand Final between what the team currently on Lounge 2 and a different team, but the best you go to Lounge 2 and ask transparent there. I sadly don't know which one it is. And yeah, this opponent of Furious Pride Investigation will be either My Eyes or the Rumble Madness, which will battle it out any moment here on this channel. But
So it's AFK for Coco versus
AFK
the winner
okay.
of Deathly 5 Mochas for Alice. Very
there
big.
we go. There we go. Yeah. Let's have a look if our next teams already have a map down. No, they do not yet. All right. We will. Quick swap there. We'll head into a short break and we'll be right back with the second semi-final.
See you all in a bit.
welcome back for the second semi-final of the evening in the Upper Nexus Rumble. First of all, we're gonna see if my eyes will beat Madness Rumble or if it's the other way around, and I'm still joined by Louka.
Yeah, sorry guys. I know you were hoping, but Trans hasn't finished yet, so they couldn't get rid of me in time.
Why should we? First of all, let's have a look at the map pools. As we do have Garden of Terror, of course, being removed by the executive decision of myself, because I was chosen to do so today.
By the VIPs, Samu. The VIPs decided.
And
You're
then
the
we
true
do see
VIP.
my eyes banning out Sky Temple, Madness Rumble removing Towers of Doom, and Tomb of Spider Queen was the map choice by my eyes, which would have been my ban choice if I had the actual choice. Hey, let's go. Tomb
I'm
of Spider
excited.
Queen.
Yeah, Tomb of the Spider Queen. I think you're being a bit harsh on Tomb of the Spider Queen. I think you can get some actually really quite interesting Tomb games. I don't know. I have a soft spot for the map. I like the way that it incentivizes you to not die. I feel like that's the thing that generally Heroes of the Storm is lacking slightly in some of its other maps. The punishment for being aggressive and not succeeding is sometimes a bit lacking, but on Tomb, the punishment is very blatant, right? If you start losing gems, it's bad. It's not a good time. But yeah, no. So I'm interested to see how it goes. We're kind of two teams here who have played some Nexus Rumble. I had it in front of me before. I put it away. Talented like that. Our second place seed is, of course, My Eyes. They are joint top, technically, with a score of 33 from 18. But our second place, Madness Rumble, has a score of 30 from 16, which I cannot work out mathematically in my head in this moment which one is better, but they're incredibly similar, right? You're looking at yeah, they're very close. They're very close. Very close. So both of these teams, man, what even is that difference? It's close. Close.
Yeah, it's
An 8 versus
Also,
a 6.
Twitch chat
They're
flame-
slightly further off. They're slightly better. They're slightly better, yeah. Madness Rumble are actually slightly more point efficient per match. Look at that.
Also, Twitch chat flamed me for not setting up predictions, so let's prepare that already.
Imagine not setting up predictions.
Not like you could have done it. Wait, actually, you could
can't.
not.
yeah, I ain't trusted with that sort of
yeah,
power.
yeah.
You must be mad. I am, however, just going to quickly go and set a random prediction in the middle of lounge too, so that they are entirely confused. What a world! What a world! Yeah.
Alrighty. It seems like we have everyone in the lobby now. And maybe we're good to go in any moment. For this first map of the second series of the evening.
Yeah, second map, Tomb of the Spider Queen. If you're new to Heroes of the Storm, then why? But welcome. Everyone here is, of course, welcome. We are Tomb. It's an oldie, but a goldie. You got 3 lanes. They're very tight. They're very close together. And whenever you kill the backline, the range minion in a wave, obviously 7 minions in a wave, you kill a backline range minion, they drop a little spider butt. Nerds call them gems. They're spider butts. Bring back spider butt. When you get enough butts from the spiders, you can summon the big spider, and you get 3 big spiders for your butts. So they kind of all the little butts combined to make 3 rather large butts. They have got, I think you would admit, some quite large butts, the big spiders. And they push down all of the lanes. Now they have an interesting spawning mechanic. They spawn up to your opponent's most pushed out wave. So when you cap, you want to have all of your waves in the same place, which means all 3 of your spiders smash their butts into the forts at exactly the same time. As a defending side, you want to get staggered, so you can defend them one at a time. By themselves, a single spider isn't necessarily incredibly impactful, but the problem is that each spider kind of needs a hero to defend it, which means that now if you've got a hero in each lane, there's only 2 extra free heroes versus the 5 of your opponents. here we go. Right, we're looking like the teams are going to be ready. I think that was a perfect Tomb synopsis. Oh, you carry the butts, and if you die, you drop them, and someone else has to go pick them up, which means you get some fantastic moments of one person dying like an idiot into a clown fiesta of everyone dying like an idiot. Nothing does that quite like Tomb. Oh, and Louka once lost 100 gems live on Rumble on this map. And we won that game.
I think that's the important statistics we need, actually.
I think I actually only lost 60 of them, but I had 100 and I died. You know, you decide how grief you think it is. You're never gonna guess what unkillable hero I was playing when I died.
Oh, no. Was it
Yeah,
Brawl?
No, it was.
That's always my first guess when you play
It was
something.
Jahana.
Oh, damn. Alright. The
It might even have been. No, it was Shield. It wasn't. Sword.
prediction is set up, so you can now bet and don't flame me for it anymore. That I did not set up predictions. There we go.
Look at that. My eyes madness. One of them's gonna win, right?
Yeah.
Can you even get draws anymore? I think it's impossible. I guess they could like hold it hostage and refuse to push out, like your old StarCraft style draw. But both sides just sit there and go no. I don't know what happens then. I think the trans just tells them both that they're wrong, and we move on.
Yeah, immediately looking at the draft, we have a similar phase in the bans. It's Cho'Gall making it back into the bans from Madness Rumble. It's my eyes enjoys to play a little bit of Cho'Gall.
Yeah, it's man Cho'Gall. He's a hero. But yeah,
No dip
he's
cat.
two actually. Wow, I said one thing about him and it was wrong.
No Dipcat coming out today, or at least on this map. We do see Junkrat as the ban from Madness Rumble. I find the Suburban quite interesting, but I guess it's targeting just targeting Patchnox hero pool.
You can play Samuro on any map if you're good enough at him, right? And you can play the Samuro style on any map if you're good enough at him. He's never going to lose any pressure in the bottom lane. Even if you're not necessarily expected to be incredible, it's so hard to lane against him, even if you know the matchup. And what are the odds that the Samuro OTP doesn't know the matchup as well as you do, right? Unless you're bringing out something really left field, probably he's way more comfortable than you are. It's if you don't have something else you want removed, which I guess they don't if Blaze is their second ban, then I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, targeting the Patchnox hero pool for now is, I think, his most played, second most played hero after Zumur is the Blaze. That's what I have seen him mostly on. Rhaegar is going to be the first pick for the side of Madness Rumble.
Yeah, I'm surprised by Rhaegar 1. I feel like Rhaegar has fallen down in priority quite a lot. And I mean, sure they've got a plan,
Yeah,
but I'm surprised.
Especially the lightning shield and stuff for waves, and the bruiser cam
Yeah, yeah.
will help out with that.
He's not bad, but you lose a lot of threat, right? There's no D-shield coming in your draft. There's no light bomb coming in your draft. There's no silence puddle coming in your draft.
Not yet.
Well, I suppose maybe I'm being a little bit too standard there, but I think that the healer, like, you're telling their opponents that they can be a lot more legal and a lot less safe against dive when they see the Rhaegar. I think, right? It's almost. Interestingly, at this point in the meta, I think a lot of our dive-heavy comps are really quite healer-empowered, right? There's a lot of strong dive bonus in the heal slot. I've talked about Rhaegar too much. Garrosh is annoying as hell on Tomb. And Dahaka...
The best hero in the entire video game, but sure.
Yeah, he is. I'm excited to see what the offlane is going to be for my ice.
You mean which hero, or?
Yeah, which hero?
Okay.
Yeah, you got your main tank Garrosh. You got the Dahaka to 4-man catch the thing with the follow-up CC, soak both the waves. What do you put in bottom?
We do see a Mephisto ban coming out against Madness Rumble, which, I mean, Mephisto could just be a target ban of some sort, but it could also just like give you a bit more leeway to maybe look at those drafts where you can put Dahaka in the 4-man and have, I don't know, Leo or something in bottom.
Yeah. As a player of triple melee into Mephisto
No
It's
bueno.
not a great time. It is no bueno. Yeah, look at that. The bilingual European here saying fancy words to the Englishman. He knows what's going on. For those of you who don't know, Cloud is Troy. He has been known to play Medivh, which explains the Medivh ban for you. But he's gone for a Gul'dan, which I think is another favourite of his. And we've also got this Anduin. Hogger last pick. Hello there, chat. Welcome. Lovely to have you all. If you did, unfortunately, not catch our first game, it was a couple of nicely fought matches, but unfortunately, it went in the way of furious, bloody investigation. The Tumble Droid Rumblers did some cooking, but unfortunately, got a little bit burnt in that kitchen. As I mean, that is Pudgenox on the Deathwing.
Yeah, no Foster to even empower.
I take it back. You probably take Leo now instead of Hogger. My bad, team.
I could let's
Take
see.
Malthael? Oh, I think you can go last pick Malthael and run it bot lane to the start.
I think you're kind of weak into Foster, though.
Yeah, but you don't have to run it for bot lane the whole game. You just kind of start it there, and then it does camps. Okay, so that's also just an objectively clever choice here. But it's way less fun.
That is true.
Man, yeah, that is terrifying.
Yeah, Tracer Gul'dan. Also, I mean, also Tracer with the light bomb is very strong. The Medivh
Yeah.
would have empowered Garrosh to a very disgusting degree. That's
Yeah, I think
not
like
fun to
light
play
bomb.
into it.
Light bomb can hit 3 of 5 targets, and it's probably a kill. And remember, if you get a big light bomb, Gul'dan can step up now and horrify. And you've also got oh man, I don't want to be Madness Rumble right now.
Indeed.
This is
Let's
scary.
see as we are loading into this game number 1 between My Eyes and Madness Rumble. Yeah, I'm interested in how the Deathwing works out. I don't think the Deathwing has a particularly nice matchup into the Haka or Gul'dan. Trace is also very nice for the Deathwing. Garrosh is quite annoyed by Deathwing because he cannot throw him in. But outside of the Garrosh,
I would have thought Deathwing into Dahaka was fine. I feel like
it overall is fine, but like you don't care.
like
much
Dahaka has to
about-
like move around you, right? You have the space. You get to play your fantasy as the big powerful dragon.
Yeah, but the Haka just clears the wave and runs off.
Yeah. He's not gonna like, die, but
Let's see as we are loading in here. To the left side in the blues, it's My Eyes. We have White Ragoch on the Haka, Guno on Anduin, DPO playing the Garrosh, Cloud Destroyer on Tracer, and Cat playing the Gul'dan.
and our red side, Philadelphia is on Hanzo Razhag. On that, Anubarak Feliox is your Rhaegar Pudgenox on the Deathwing, and Bloodcool is your Falstad.
No, the Haka burrowing in to the mid lane immediately. Got the Brush Stalker there, looking for tongue, but no.
Are you a mid lane digger, Samu?
No. I hate it.
I'm not a mid lane digger.
I hate it. I think it's a waste of a cooldown in like 90% of the cases, and the 10% of the cases where you actually get a lick, you rarely have to follow to get the kill. And I think it's only worth it if you get the kill. In this draft with the Garrosh together, I think it's okay. Yeah.
Fair enough. I guess because it's Tomb as well, like you're less likely to need a dig in the next 20 seconds of Tomb than you are on any other map. So still having your dig, not having like he didn't need to dig now, right? I think it's a bit more different when you've got the bigger lane maps and someone's more likely to misrotate. But if your opponents haven't managed the first rotation on Tomb of the Spider Queen, something's gone wrong, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's true. I'm used to double soaking in Storm League on this map with like, I don't know, Johanna, Junkrat, whatever.
4-man Dahaka.
Rarely do that in Storm League, but would not be surprised that I would also just double soak with that.
I think I've done it before.
I think I once even double soaked with Rhaegar on this map in the format, so Yeah, you've seen a lot of things there. But for now,
Got a
let's
lot
have
of
a quick look at the camps, as the Bruiser camp already taken. Visor of Madness Rumble, and now they're also on the bottom camp. With the Hanzo starting to get this one going. But in the meantime, the mid camp will be defended close to towers, and then the camp from my eyes, together with a big minion wave, will be able to push forward towards the towers of the Madness Rumble team.
Yeah, early pressure coming out here from the blue team, but I believe the blue team have got two heroes that are very scale heavy. The Tracer Bomb scaling at something like 1.5% higher than all of the other skills in the game. And I believe Gul'dan's buttons also scale slightly more effectively than all of the other damage spells in the game. That might be an artifact and it might be false, but I have it in my brain. And, you know, if Fish is in the chat, he'll correct me if I'm wrong.
Gul'dan definitely wants the later stage of the game where he got his level 1 quest stacked corruption and then gets level 16 in as well.
But he does that too.
Damage.
Ooh, a noob needs to be cleansed there. That's a nice trade. We're seeing Hanzo picking up 3 redemption stacks so far. I'm slightly surprised that that's the style he's choosing to play, but he's getting a decent amount of value. The AA on 4 as well is interesting. I guess with the AA Faustat as well, they feel like they have enough clear that they don't need anything more bursty. It'd be interesting to see. I think while they remain on top of the rotation, it's really good. If they start getting pinned behind, it could be rough. As a little bit late there on the Anduin route. Cloudis Troy coming in. Has to be careful. 90 health is just about able to survive there. I think if Anduin pre-roots and Tracer gets the bomb, then the kill pressure is really big. But without that, in the early game, probably the best they're going to get. But just wait till the bomb comes online, and that's when we'll really see them, I think, Samu.
Yeah, I think like the issue I often see with Redemption is that you kind of put yourself close to your opponent, but with ignore all distractions, you get rid of the problem. But you're still kind of weak to dive arrows like Tracer, like a Genji or something like that, especially when they have a light bomb. So if the Tracer just goes in with a light bomb onto the Hanzo and just grabs the kill, it is very rough for the Hanzo to get the stacks back up, and then yeah.
You're trading poke for punch, right? Your Hanzo does a lot more poke damage with W and Q build, but can heal a little bit harder in the moment with W. As first Web Reavers join us. That's not the only thing joining us, Samu, as Heroes Lounge 2 has concluded. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming on over. We are map 1 of our second game. My eyes are facing off against Madness Rumble, and a nice early start has seen Madness get their first objective in their favor here, and they've already opened up the wall in the top lane, so this is going to be quite a lot of pressure as Dreadnought isn't necessarily favored in that Dahaka Faustad matchup. He has to be careful, although he's going to get I'd have chucked the Mind Dahaka. It would probably have died. I'd have thrown him on top of a Faustad.
Yeah, especially with the rest of the team coming around, but so far both forts still alive. Tracer is coming in now. 5v5 DP taking tons of damage down the garage, and will be the first blood of the game 5 minutes in here.
Faustad instantly running away. The rest of the team trying to walk their way out here. I think the garage kill is almost a little bonus. They did have to drop Deathwing topside in order to get it, but they won't worry about that too much as he's already back in the sky.
Yeah.
Is he? Oh, he's big land, isn't he?
Yeah, he's dropping meteors when he's landing.
Has that still got the funny interaction where if you get the drop right, you can insta-take off? And it's uninterruptible?
I think it works, though.
That was, yeah.
Hit enough? It should, at least. And let's see. As level 10s are now in for Madness Rumble. They're missing 15 gems for another turn in, and now they're looking onto the blood cooldown here in bottom from the side of my eyes. They don't have 10 yet, and now DP in a bit of trouble here as to use Indomitable.
Grip's coming back now. He should be fine. Trace is still topside getting the XP. But they're just like, they're waiting. They're in a waiting pattern, you know? They've got all their forts, just about. They kind of can't afford to lose the next pay. but they're still 10, 12 gems away from their opponents being able to pay, and they've got pretty much the same number of gems themselves, even though they're down a kill. So far, I don't think anyone is too worried. I do think the teams are both a little bit low from where they should be on gem count. I don't know if I haven't counted it out, but it feels like second pay is normally available by 7 minutes. Maybe I'll do the math. It's in my head in a minute. I'll let you guys know. But yeah, here we are. Level 10s, level 11s. Hanzo's got the meme strike. I guess they're going to try and put it on top of a cocoon. Blue team do get their web reavers. They have to give a hard camp uncontested for it, but it is capped a little bit early and not with a wave. So, I mean, they got that going in their favor. I guess the red team a little bit too scared to hold the camp. A nice throw on a noob. Razhag in a lot of danger. Answer's called. Here's the Horrify, but Cat is in a lot of danger. 23 gems on her. Bloodclaw able to get that kill.
Yeah, with that kill, we will see pretty nice defense coming out now from Madness Rumble.
I was wrong. Turns out the plan is just ult on top of the Garrosh and top of the Gul'dan and hope as he comes in. But Philadelphia needs to be careful here. Lit connects, dragged into the light bomb. Good night, Hanzo. Bomb going on to Razhag. And can they get a second kill? The Gust is forced. I think that should do enough work. But crucially, because they got that first kill here, although the blue team were able to trade it out back, the red team have got a very solid defense here. The 50 gems have been very nicely diffused. And although they sit like a 5 gem deficit, I think they are very much ahead on the map. So a nice setup here for them. But Razhag constantly under threat here.
Yeah, it's always the Anub Garrosh matchup interaction where Anub has to be careful with his buttons. He needs them up if Garrosh throws him. Let's see, so 13 is now in for Madness Rumble. Okay.
Another Decimate game as well. Maybe I'm just wrong about Taunt. I guess here they really want Garrosh to catch stuff. And Tracer's their main engage? I don't know. They're going to get gems in here, the red team. So the blue team are in charge of a defense now. DP got a nice Q, but felt like he had to back away. I think that's a shame. I guess they're not 13 though, so maybe anything more would have been very greedy. And they're going to lose top, and I think they should lose bottom here as well. The Dahaka's going to really struggle to stand up against this melee Deathwing in the defense. As you can see, forcing the D out against Draydok there before it's even dropped. Yeah, no, I think Madness are actually doing really well here. I thought the Tracer was going to be much more of a problem than it is. Draydok tries to get the ISO, does not quite connect. Garrosh freed from his cocoon. Fear on the Razhag, and there is going to be a light bomb, but Hanzo is just slippery enough. Cloud actually doesn't have a way out now. Is going to have to drop a bomb so that he gets another blink back. There's going to be a Deathwing though coming in. Pudge looking to be annoying, and they're just not quite finding it yet, the blue team. You feel like the potency is there, but they aren't quite getting the angles that they need, Samu.
Yeah, Gul'dan is still lacking a little bit of damage, I think. Oh, nice throw, and yeah, there goes a kill onto the Adam. He overstepped a bit then, gets his seat inside.
15 gems on the ground there as well is a nice trade-off for the blue team, who have done a very good job at gem retention.
Definitely another Tracer. We'll keep pushing top side, has enough gems herself. 15 gems we need from the side of my eyes in the bank for their second turn in.
Yeah, and possibly more importantly, we're only actually 12 gems away from a double pay for the blue team now, whereas that pick there on the noob means the red team can't threaten it. However, half level lead, probably the blue team actually aren't that interested in paying in the short term. They want to try and get very close to 16 so they can double pay with XP in their hands. And I think there should be enough waves that it should be hard for their opponents to get, especially if 16 comes a little bit sooner. The light bomb, unfortunately, not able to connect, being placed on that Garrosh, and Philadelphia wants the kill, but Draydok is going to get a lick here. Oh, he's going ISO first. Never mind. The lick denying Horrify, but it doesn't matter. Hanzo is dead. That's going to get them back closer to even on XP, and now they feel comfortable paying. Lovely setup here from my eyes.
Yeah, now they're also in the mid lane with the cam. Able to step up a bit. Damage going onto the Anub, but he stepped E up. Able to just burrow into safety there. Tracer.
Poor Tracer is on so much macro duty this game.
Yeah. Oh. Different from the side though with the Horrify, only got the cooldown. Another throw.
Can't quite get Razag.
Yeah, he's very careful with his E cooldown. He has to be.
16's it in now. Cat almost has the double E. And Dipio has a lovely rotation. The unstoppable means there's no E for Razak. But out in the back, Claudius Trey has a triple light bomb. Only Rhaegar going down, but Philadelphia way too low to do anything else. Dipio gets Faustad and an ISO connecting as well. But Claudius Trey has 40 gems and a keep hitting him. Gruno doing his best to keep him alive. The Tracer does survive, and a fly away from the Faustad means that only Garrosh goes down in the end. 1 for 1, a little bit deep, but gems retained. Bottom lane and top lane in shambles, and the blue team ready to pay again. Red team 10 gems away, so this is where my eyes wanted to be right now. Cloud District does need to be a little bit careful, but I don't think there's any real gang pressure on Pudgenox. Although having said that, he did just tank the full Gul'dan E.
Yeah. Comes to the cooldown damage. Also quite
Razak's coming in.
We do see pack lead under the Haka for the armor and attack speed while in the bush and for 5 seconds after.
It does pair with the level 1, and they've got the level 13 as well. So he's really trying to run through bushes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I like it.
I think it really highlights the fact that the Haka is going to be really useful in the middle of the map and really useless around keeps.
Yeah. Oh, Rhaegar gets caught there. Ancestral is a bit early, but there's a big Dragon Strike, getting a lot of damage going. A 2 for 1 trade so far, making it a 3 for 1 trade. As Tracer and the Haka are the only survivors for the side of my eyes after they turned in, and this will make the turn in very weak here.
Yeah, I mean, everything we said that was going my eyes' way, scratch that. This is a huge turnaround for them in that moment, right? I think the big gust there, it's just doing so much work, right? And then Deathwing on top of it as well. If they get caught out like that, it can be really rough. Anduin and Gul'dan both found themselves a little bit out of position. And really nice counter collapse after they initially find that Rhaegar. It's very difficult sometimes when you're looking like your team's getting a pick to play correctly, as the blue team correctly identifying boss is going to be the red team's focus. They're just going to try and walk in here and catch Bloodcall on his way around.
Yeah, it was also a very nice area for the Hanzo with Dragon Strike. To just throw in a Dragon Strike and see where it goes.
Oh, they're here to contest. The ISO whiffed, unfortunately. They aren't going to be able to get nothing off the point, but Dreadnought is going to be able to stay on the point for a long time. Is it long enough? Yes, it is. What a comeback boss fight there. Just as the momentum looked lost, they have saved it, and with all the gems left on the deck, they are actually about even in gem count overall here. Being a pay ahead is slightly unfortunate, but they've got that 50-60 gem lead now. That means that as well as this boss, they are not falling behind. Wow. I mean, like, madness. Really unlucky there not to have their team in position in time to defend that boss.
Yeah, especially the Deathwing was on the point and got the Horrify off and cleared the Garrosh away, but the Haka with the very smart play to not make sure he does not get feared off. Oh, the Garrosh died?
Yeah, so does the Falstad. It might be worth it. I think they can end. I think the Falstad is more likely to stop at them ending than Garrosh is to help them. So you take that 1 for 1. As this boss is just slamming through that core. Cat tanking a little bit of BM keep damage there. As that is game number 1 in favor of my eyes.
I think especially this boss fight just straight up turned around the game in the moment for the side of my eyes, and especially the Gul'dan being allowed to just press E on this point. It was so much damage for Deathwing, he couldn't handle it.
Yeah, that combined with just the Hucker's insane survivability on that point, the full 50 essence, just able to keep him there alive long enough, right? And although Hanzo does get the meme strike, he can't then step in to put any further damage on.
Yeah, with that, we will now see the teams ban out a map again, both teams, and then we will see the next map pick.
Alternatively, we might see them just go AFK for 10 minutes. This is, of course, madness in my eyes. I mean, so anything could happen, Samu. Let's not pigeonhole them into sensible choices.
That's true.
Yeah, no. Chat, behave yourselves. I think, you know. Otherwise, the big scary moderator will come in and do nothing of. I don't know. Just be nice. Be well behaved. You know you want to be well behaved. Yeah, I think. Yes. Team trying to work out, or Matt with the guys trying to work out what they want to do. We've got some more bans coming in. No more Braxis.
Yeah, I like it.
Look at that. I'm not unhappy. I'm slightly worried that Ultrak is still in here, and Volskaya is still in here, and Dragon is still in here. They could all go long. You know, give me some Cursed and some Bowie. Those will run nice and short.
Let's see.
Don't know. Who knows what the plan is? Sure, Razhag will have a plan very, very soon. Probably had their Braxis ban stolen, if we're being honest. You know, you walk in expecting to ban Braxis, your opponent's ban Braxis before you can get there. You do the little Spider-Man meme, you go, hey! And then you realize, oh, actually, I have to think now. And they're warming up the old brain cocks. So good for them. Very nice, very nice. Of course, this isn't the end of the Nexus Rumble. Our semi-finals were today. The lower Rumble decided itself a little bit earlier. Unfortunately, one of the maps couldn't go ahead. AFK for Coco, caking that position in the finals. And then I believe it was a win. Okay, there are only 2 games. Yeah, it was a win for Deathly Vibe. Look at that. The website not quite updating for me, but there was a diva, so Mocus Ferralas were the winners in my heart. Very odd that the game is uploaded, but anyway, let's not worry. Oh no, never mind. There it is now. Either that's happened in the background and I've just made someone unhappy, or my internet was breaking. 50-50. So yeah, lower Rumble final. I want to say it's next week, so I'm gonna say it's next week. And if it's not next week,
it is next week.
It is now. Lower Rumble final next week. AFK for Coco versus Deathly Vibe. Should be a fantastic best of 5. And then, of course, upper Rumble final the week after the last Monday. Furious Bloody Investigation have already booked their spot. And my eyes are one step closer to booking the other one. But Madness Rumble still have something to say about it. We've had Braxis and Dragon banned. Infernal has been picked up, Samu. Off we go.
Yeah, Infernal Shrines is the next map. Let's see. I mean, it's gonna be interesting if we see like a Hammer comp coming out again, something that we see from the Tumble Red Rumblers earlier, already on this.
I really hope we see Holger Urel Hammer playing into like an Orphea Galthas style setup. I think that would be really interesting to watch. I wonder how it goes. You know, I don't know how that's meant to. It would be nice. Be nice. But yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see. Interesting to see what happens. Little bit of shrines. Will we see the Holger Prior? Holger's I've heard quite a good hero. Will we see Cho'Gall? I feel like we see a lot of Cho'Gall bans. Someone's got to man up.
Yeah.
Just pick the Cho'Gall, you know? Just 1-2. Slam it. Cho'Gall. Easy. And then go from there. I don't know what you think of it.
Just do it. Don't let your dreams
it.
be dreams. Just pick
Don't
the
let you.
Cho'Gall.
Yesterday you said yesterday, and so do it tomorrow instead. Yeah, like if only you could pick 2 Cho'Galls. Can you imagine? Cho'Gall,
In
second
the meantime, as I
Cho'Gall.
see we have the teams switching sides. So for you people at home, now we do have Madness Rumble on the left and My Eyes on the right side.
Yeah, it's boring. I'm also currently playing for My Eyes, which I feel very bad for them if that ends up happening. That would be rough. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll do it, but I'm not going to stop casting with Samu. Samu's an honest bloke. So he's not
I
gonna
mean, probably I
trouble
will
the
get
rest
someone else in there, right?
of us. Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's see. Yeah, I think Hogger will have. We might even see a Hogger ban at this point. Like, it's Hogger. Come on, just do it.
Do it. Don't let your dreams be memes.
Yeah, that was. I also know that Whitegoch likes to play him, so I would not be surprised to see him picked up early.
Oh, serious accusations getting thrown around there in team chat. It's always nice when it's a race to the bottom and you're not the target, you know? Turns out I'm not annoying enough. But yeah, no. Looks like the teams are sorting themselves out. All 5 members on the team actually there. We've got Panda J back, so we don't need our GM sub anymore. Very exciting. GM sub plan didn't work. Panda J's been called back. They've gone, sorry, mate. I thought he could just carry us, but now you're gonna have to actually play. Hate to see it, you know. Yeah. Shrines.
Let's go.
Man, I've run out of filler. We were like 10 seconds away from another chat about how innovative the Nexus Rumble is.
Also, Heroes 10th is on its way, so make sure you check the announcement channel, as there will be news coming there soon.
Yeah. 10 heroes. Very nice. That's the same number that there are on the battlefield. Unless you're a cheater.
What do you mean? Vikings is not cheating.
Cheating. If I have to play with them. What's this? I wanted an offlaner and ended up with 2 small dudes and a rotund fella. Good old Olaf. He is the most.
Our
rotund
here.
Yeah.
It's time for a donut.
Oh dear.
Anyways, the first ban
I know my skill set. I'm not going there.
from the side of My Eyes.
Another cheater.
Going back to the Samura ban. Yeah, but it's just temporarily.
Counting to 1 is hard. I know this for a fact.
I'm not quite sure if that's a judgment about you or the British education system.
Well, the good news, Samu, is I'm responsible for for the other anyway. So cyclical nature of the problem, I think, is what we have. Oh man, where is my Cho'Gall? Why can we not have nice? They're the team that could have first picked it as well. You know, like I know they have second pick, but you can't just take Cho. You're not allowed to first pick it. You gotta. I think you should be allowed to first pick Cho'Gall. Blizzard, just let me first lock Cho'Gall. Do it. You won't.
And there goes the Mephisto ban again. Alrighty.
I wonder if it would change how he was drafted if it only actually cost 1 slot to lock at the time. Like, obviously you can't pick anything in the other slot because that's like... Would it actually change your priority? If you could go like Cho Oriole 1-2?
Probably. And then pick up the Gal as a next rotation.
Yeah.
Oh, for now, we're going to see the Junkrat ban coming up from Madness Rumble and an insta-lock on the Gareth from My Eyes. Securing it for DPO here, not giving it over to Panda J on the other side.
Yeah. He's you gotta actually pay attention when there's a Garrosh in the game. It's very rough. Very annoying. He's like... He's almost like a pseudo Stitches. He's like not quite got all of the Stitches problems. And he's not quite got all of the Stitches benefits. He's like the halfway house between actually having a tank and having Stitches, you know? Like, he still has some crowd control, but he's not going to get any big step up engage. But then sometimes he just scams someone, you know? It's very big sometimes, and very small other times.
In the meantime, the prediction is set up again, but make sure you click the correct thing, because now we have Madness Rumble as option A and my eyes as option B, because they swapped sides.
Gonna have Brightwing coming out here quite early as well.
I have both DPS slots open for my eyes, so
yeah,
been very flexible there with your plays. Nice front line.
Could be very exciting coming in that last slot. I think with Brightwing as well, it's just a nod to Pudge on the Dahaka, saying I don't really want my healer to spend their whole game running away from dinosaurs coming out of bushes. As it stands, Dahaka has no one in the fight that he can interact with. Now, I don't expect it to remain that way, but if they can pull off a draft where like it doesn't look like Dahaka has an obvious target, I think that they might find their opponents really struggle to get the engage together, because Dahaka really needs like someone he can just look at and right click and spend his fights like that, right? That's a happy Dahaka. He just right clicks.
Blazing Garrosh, just click them in your team and they die. Or
yeah, but
like, huh?
I think you can't reliably lick a Brightwing.
We will form.
I think if you're a Brightwing and you reliably get licked, you maybe shouldn't be playing Brightwing.
Or in the meantime, Madness Rumble turning up the heat now with the bread and butter comp of Varian Stukov turned into silence. Coming out for just one-shotting people. Punishing the lack of a cleanse from Brightwing.
Can you ever Medivh here? Maybe not. I don't know. Cloudix Trick does love his Medivh.
I think it's...
You don't just be Kalthas Faustad.
I think if you go for Medivh, you need like a Vala or something with it.
Maybe.
We need something.
I was wondering if you could play
damage.
Medivh Gul'dan.
It sounds juicy.
Yeah.
But hey, we've got the Kelsos back on Shrines.
We have got the Kalthas back on Shrines. 100% win rate so far today. Yeah, I mean, I'm imagining that's full material. A small part of my brain wants to hope that that's Smash variant, but I think it's not. I love Smash variant so much. It's so good. You just shout at them and they die. Game design 11 out of 10. I'm a bit of a Sonya player from back in the day where you shout at them and jump on them and they die. But this is like you can do it at 4. Sonya, you got to wait till 10 before you can have fun. I miss the old Sonya. Remember when Sonya was like Imba? What a time! What a time! In case you can't tell, guys, Luca's done a full day of work and he didn't get much sleep last night. But he's here. It's 1-0 to my eyes. We're going to be playing some Infernal Shrines very soon, and this could be it. They could end it here and maintain the 100% Kalthas win rate, or alternatively, we could see the comeback begin as Madness Rumble, while they're slowly loading their triple frontline comp in. It's not the first time we've seen triple frontline Hanzo today.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Probably going to go better than last time, but it might not. And if that's not a casting prediction, I don't know what is.
Let's see as we are
Oh, dear.
still loading here.
Can't believe Trans let us go on the main one.
And with that, we have loaded in successfully. And to the left side, in the blues, it's going to be Madness Rumble, as we have Philadelphia on the Hanzo, Filox on Stukov, Pachnox on the Haka, Razak on the Tyrrell, and Panda J on the Variant.
And 1-0 up in this second semi-final, about to book themselves in with a place in that grand final, or at least I'm sure they hope so. Whiting Dragok is your Blaze. You got Cat on that Kalfas. Guano is your Brightwing. Dipio back on his Garrosh, and Cloud is Troy on your Falstad. Look at him go. It's Claude, isn't it? Claude is Troy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We all know who he is. I can't say words. I apologize. It doesn't matter. He should be called what he wants to be called. It's a lick on Blaze. It's a stun on Tyrael. It's a throw on Panda J. The variant getting chucked in. Razak falling a little bit low here. But all in all, sanity has been resumed.
Yeah, looking for the talents level 1, we do see a W build Hanzo.
Another
Coming
AA
out.
Falstad. Is Q Falstad just not played anymore?
I don't know. I'm not a Falstad player anymore these days, as we have a quick throw onto the variant there. Taking a lot of damage. Will be fine.
Panda J still getting warm. Just, you know, tanking a couple of throws. Getting in Dipio's head.
We
He's
see
waiting for level 4 where he can just insta-taunt off the throw. It's all in the mind games. All in the mind games.
we do see salvation from Tyrael, so increasing his own shield and giving himself a bit of a heal when it breaks. Instead of the bigger AoE shield, which we usually see in the talent.
I strongly believe Tyrael's level 1 doesn't matter. They're all like really naff.
In the meantime, thanks Andreas for the raid. I hope you guys had a nice stream. Hope you had some nice match over the channel as well. Welcome, welcome.
Oh, bless. Welcome, guys. Hello. If you've just joined us, this is the Nexus Rumble Upper Semi-Finals. This is semi-final number 2. Semi-final 1 was well contested by the Tumble-Dried Rumblers, but in the end they didn't have enough for the Furious Bloody Investigators, going down 0-2. And now My Eyes took a nice 1-0 lead with Claudius Troy's Tracer putting a lot of work in. But now a slightly more out-of-the-box setup from Madness, I would say. A slightly more standard for them, though. We got the Taunt variant, the Tyrael, and the Dahaka coming in here with a Hanzo and a Stukov behind it. But if Garrosh can get good angles, if he can get the split of the front line, or if he can get the backliners into the middle of his team, there is a huge amount of CC available. You've got potentially Throw, Polymorph, Blaze Stun, Kelthar Stun, and then finally a Gust to really get someone unable to push buttons for a long period of time. So both teams definitely got things going in their favor, as poor Brightwing, man, that hero does not have wave clear.
Indeed, let's see. But isn't the Tyrael level 1 the bigger AoE usually used to stop your opponents from clearing your wave?
Yes, I think it is.
Lick onto the Blaze. There's a Dragon Teleport there.
I
Be fine.
bet the statistics say that this one gives him 2% more life in some team fights, or something like that. The numbers don't lie.
The cake
say
is a lie.
Oh, Big Taunt comes in onto Garrosh. The silence is underneath. Is going to get caught by the Brightwing cleanse, but it's not going to be a huge impact. She does have the AAs that will help her recharge that quicker, and she is now going to spit at that variant. The Polymorph is there, but she's been kind of left behind by her team. Has to be careful here. Another nice silence, just controlling the space really well. 27-34, and more Shrine Minions going over to that red, to the blue side, but Drayrok is going in on Philadelphia. Ferox has to get a big heal off here, and he does. Claudius Troy rolling away, but it's going to be first blood on the Blaze, a blue Punisher, and a nice start for Madness Rumble. Once again, strong early game coming out from them.
Yeah, now with this Punisher. No, not yet baited. There we go. There's the bait over the wall. Making sure it tanks the fort and both towers for maximum damage from structures. Will not get much done here, but in the meantime the bot lane has been pushed out by Madness Rumble.
I think Brightwing's Polymorph just did 1,000 damage to Razak. Oh, Dipio, gotta be careful. Brightwing is coming. Is going to get there in time. Dahaka's digging in. This is a full 5v5. A throw onto Hanzo. Can they get him? Yes, they can. Razak's really low here as well. They're going to chuck the Blaze in on top. That is a second kill. What a lovely counter fight there from My Eyes. So similar in start to the one before, but with slightly better execution from that Garrosh throw. It is all coming up red. My eyes swinging back and stealing the camps.
Yeah, and we saw exactly what we saw also earlier. Oh, a throw onto the variant, but now he's body blocked, not allowed to walk out there. And that's another kill for my eyes.
Disappointing that Brightman got secure. Nothing is funnier than taunted heroes AAing something to death. It was very close, you know.
Yeah,
Potential for 2 taunts in this game as Razak needs to be careful, but nice play there from Stukov, just making Dipio second guess how many tower shots he really wanted to tank.
Well, what we just saw there was a nice two-man play stun into the KT follow-up again. So those area stuns are really nice with KT together.
Yeah, it's true. Blaze Kelthas set it on fire. Ooh. Cloud Destroy just Cloudy. He doesn't care. He's looking at Razak like, you're a Tyrael. I'm not scared of you. So what do you think? Judge the Kelthas?
Wait a second, we have to find bigger and reciprocate?
Wait, why do we have reciprocate?
Wasn't the reciprocate used to have wave clone Tyrael? Like when people played him in the offlane?
I guess it's for Shrine Clear?
Sanct is broken?
Like, it has to be Shrine Clear, no?
I guess.
Is it not just better to have armor though if you're not going AA talent on 7? I can't even remember what the third blade is. Third Tyrael 4 is.
Slow and heal. Increase slow duration on the Q and healing you for 3% for every hit.
I mean, that feels better here as well, no?
Oh, anyways.
Anyway,
Spawning
we are
on
not
the top lane.
We're not the chefs here.
We have thought a lot about the talents, but we have Judgment now being picked up, so we might see Turo being
When it actually was Judgment? Okay. I expected that. Yeah. So, like, they can't judge before the Brightwing cleanses, right? Like, if you're Brightwing... Oh my god, it's Pyroblast! And it's Spinny Garrosh again! Actually, of all the Spinny Garroshes, this one makes the most sense to me, I think. Because Garrosh needs to find the engage here. Blaze isn't doing that heavy lifting job for him.
Well,
Tyrael might be in trouble here.
He judged the Blaze.
He did.
Who
He's
didn't
not
care.
dead.
Blaze is full life. Oh.
So is Tyrael. It was an escape judge.
Bunker has been used. I'm gonna see a little bit of dance around there.
20 monkey lead here for the red team is very big. The blue team have to either stand up and commit or run away. It looks like they're going to try and commit. They are able to pull it back a bit, but there's still 9 in favor of that team. A nice stun coming out onto Tyrael, but the silence makes it so hard to play here. Stukov does have that big puddle on 7. A throw on Razak, not going to quite be enough. The stun, the arrow is huge, but Tyrael goes down. Fastad can just about find the throw out, and after all of this, it wasn't enough. It was never going to be enough. I'm slightly gutted that we don't have the D-spell power Kelthas. I feel like you're meant to D-spell power with Pyroblast. I don't know if that's true, but it's my feeling. Garrosh might die here. Quite a big jump in there to get them out.
Very interesting. Yeah, there we go.
I thought they had enough there for a second with the silence. I'm almost slightly surprised.
Oh, the jump from the Punisher.
Oh, no.
Nice follow up. A bit of damage should be fine over the pro and punch knocks. Will secure another kill. That's a triple kill in total for my eyes. With this frozen Punisher pushing down the top lane, there's no damage for it at the moment. The only damage against the Punisher is Hanzo on the sort of Madness Rumble, but they are dead.
Razak does appear to be dying there as well.
Trade value, trade value.
I think his trait hit nothing. I'm not an expert. I think I'm a little bit surprised it's not Stukov. I don't think that's the issue. That's not where I'm going with this at all. But he's got kind of 3 frontliners who all do the catching thing. I don't think you have to be reactive when you have 3 different frontliners who are all CC heavy, right? I think you want to have E for every single one. And at 13, if he's E build here, every time a CC lands, there should be a big E under it, you know?
Yeah, also with Arrow, I think it's really nice in combination.
Yeah. And you get that range as well, so you don't have to be near a Garrosh. And being not near a Garrosh is my favorite way of standing when Garrosh is there. That's not true. My favorite way is to hug him in bushes, but, you know, there's a reason that some of us aren't semi-finalists in the Nexus Rumble.
Indeed. As we see the bottom camp now taken, and the bottom fourth being pressured by my eyes a bit. Hitting the wall here. Set themselves up for a little bit of fort damage. Blaze just taking the key.
Order.
16's in. Oh, there's a throw onto the Varian after the kill onto Turo. Arrow did secure, did make sure that the Varian gets out, but I don't think that's the way you ideally want to use the Arrow.
Yeah. With the Darker not there, the Sukhov not E-build, they're never getting kills there. I don't know. I'm confusion. I think what Madness had last game looked like really nice. This just it's not doing it for me, you know? Maybe 16 will explain what's happening, but it feels like they need someone to walk in and die twice. Because the first time, I think Brightwing pushes D and is all fine. And then I guess the second time, maybe Garrosh indomitable throws. So maybe they need someone to die 3 times before they get a kill? Like,
Oh.
seems hopeful.
On. Yeah, that's the Indomitable. Catchman was interrupted. The Power Blast comes out onto the Spear Curve. That's the kill. Let's go, Power Blast.
Shout out to Kat for building herself what has to be the lowest APM Kel'Thas I've ever seen in my life. You just basically step towards, push R, stand there and channel. It's huge. I don't know how she's actually
It's effective. It's effective.
I'm sure she's playing great. No, I'm here for it. I love it. I'm not. This is money. She's a legend.
Top keeps going down. Foster pressuring mid lane. They can't end, or they don't want to end. They don't want to risk it. So 16 is now hit by Madness Rumble.
The highest APM in the game.
Wait, what was APM? There we go. I mean,
It's not quite as high as Cloud Destroyer, but it's pretty close.
you don't know how fast you can push your buttons, you know, to get up there. For the
Just like spamming that on. I will part. They're not. Why are they not contesting this? This is so weird. I guess they don't want to give them a pre-20 fight. This is very, very safe from my eyes.
Yeah. Maybe I guess they just realized the only way to lose this is if they mess up majorly.
Yeah.
And you would do so by giving them this fight.
I guess if you die and they get the Punisher, you might lose the keep.
Yeah, and if you just go bottom and
Oh
hit the
no!
fort in
Don't
return-
judge me.
Yeah, I mean, they did not get the entire fort, but there was still some nice damage.
This camp feels 3D. Maybe I'm wrong.
There's movement speed on the PO. You should be fine. Yes, they got to make sure
Very good gust.
getting out. The tongue, the haka.
Nah, the polymorph was really nice there to not let the tongue ever come through.
How did you pop?
Huh?
I don't know. I have questions and I'm scared of the answers. Anyways, the Punisher in the meantime in the mid lane has been cleared. Did take a tower with his
think they just-
arcane spinny thingies.
Do you think they get the fort if they just stay mid? Would you rather play 1-3 or 0-2? I think I'd rather play 0-2 because at least I've got a keep to run through in the late game.
Yeah, I think
It is
like
though.
you
Mid
need
is really
a win
bad.
condition slowly as Madness Rumble because their top keep is open. The top keep is gone. So whenever my eyes wins a big team fight, he could just go to the core and try to end.
The fly gust. Dukov knocking everyone back. Cloud Street didn't
Gust,
gust.
Gust just came up. Gust will cool down. ISO on KT. No, not allowed to press pyro or any button.
The pyro went
there's
on
the
full
Gust to the
cooldown,
wall.
no?
Yeah, it went.
There must have been a pyro.
That's a double
I'm not
kill.
gonna lie. I was gone the second that I realised that the gust wasn't ready after the fly gust play. Just standing there behind us, Dukov, who self-rooted for 2 seconds, looking at him going, wow, I guess I'm gonna hit you? It was a really good wind tunnel in the end.
Got any plans for the evening, Master?
Oh, my eyes, they're ripping through this keep. It's their second keep of the game. I don't know if they're quite going to be able to end just yet, but they are definitely 1 foot in that finals. If they don't end up there at the end of tonight, they're going to be really disappointed in themselves, I feel.
Yeah, next punish are gonna be top side, will be a mortar one, so I think the safest play they can do is just look for Razak and then take top shrine as soon as it spawns. The opponents will get 20 and will give them a chance, but you just play slow around the shrine.
You can't see Garrosh. Okay, you can now. And there's Razak.
Oh, the liquidators! The shield is there, but he survives.
Oh, Cloud Destroy running down the Hanzo and then pushing Nevarian towards his low health Kalthas, saying, don't worry, Cat, you'll be fine. Still 10 seconds till the Shrine gets announced.
KT's
They're technically both alive for Shrine-ish. Did they just lose the game?
Oh.
Yes. That's a dead Stukov. Oh, that's a
Pyro
very dead
lost!
Stukov. No, let the Pyro kill him.
The
Report it.
orange.
Triple keep. Oh, Pudge going for the ISO, but Cloudy not getting caught out there. The red team, looks like they just want this Punisher to end the game. They haven't got a lot of siege, and there is a lot of like potential for them to get caught out. I'm not opposed to them slow playing this. It's going to be rough if they don't end.
Yeah,
They
I like the play. I like the play overall. Playing it safe, making sure there's not much leeway for Menace Rumble to find the moment to get back into this game.
Yeah, I do think they got a little bit scammed by just how long away the Punisher was. I think in their heads they were hoping it was going to be sooner, because it is now a 20 defense. So we're going to see that upgraded Judgment.
Oh, we've got Contagion. It does 60% less damage now. How shall we survive that? How would you kill someone when they're all silenced and slow?
Was that really the why?
I don't know.
It
They're
even
looking
does
for the fight
60% less damage on the first one, no?
Yes. I mean,
They're gonna flank, but the Punisher jumps backwards, so I don't know how good this flank will be.
I think. Oh,
Okay, that's
oh,
awkward.
the gust is big. Yeah, that's game.
Yeah, Dipio just making friends. Pyro is going to connect onto Hanzo. He's got 100 health. Is a 2-man ISO, but it's just not doing the same damage it used to do, Samu. And that will be all she wrote. Nanda's Rumble, another strong showing, but unfortunately my eyes take the prize. They will be your Nexus Upper Rumble finalists in 2 weeks' time here on the main Heroes Lounge channel. But if you're thinking 2 weeks, what am I going to watch next week? Don't you worry, because our lower Rumble finals are coming up next week, and I closed my tab that had all of the stuff in it.
We have AFK for Coco.
It was so smooth. AFK for Coco, yeah. Someone else? I know who it's not, but I feel like that's
Vibe. Definitely Vibe is the...
Definitely
opponent.
Vibe. Definitely Vibe. Nice. Look at that. Yeah. I'm sure I won't be invited back, but Samu might be here. Trans will probably be around as well. Please do tune in next week for that. It's best of five. It's best. It must be. It's best of five.
think
It's best
it's
of five. It's best of five now.
It's a grand
right?
final. Like,
The
come
grand
on,
final.
make it a
It's best of 17.
Best of 7. Let's go.
No, yeah. Every single map, you have to win once on every single map. Every time you fail, you just restart again. That's the new Nexus Rumble rule set, except for Shrines. Shrines isn't a real map. You don't have to win there. I've been Louka. Sam is here too. He's the real carry. Good night.
Yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it and see you all back next week. Bye bye.